First off, we got Karen Civil. She is an entrepreneur, speaker, and philanthropist, and she's one of the most recognizable forces in lifestyle and entertainment. She united hip-hop with digital media by shaping artist brands at Asylum Records before launching KarenCivil.com, which is her own digital platform for exclusive interviews, entertainment news, and artist growth. She worked for 6 years for Beats by Dre, as digital marketing director, and cemented the company's digital reach to over 7 million. And she's become a humanitarian for charitable causes that specifically benefit children, women of color, and Haiti. So Karen Civil, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, everyone.
Hello? Here we go. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Did you guys enjoy the movie?
Yes.
Okay, I'm seeing some familiar faces in here. I'm seeing some familiar faces. So you guys ready for Q&A?
Yeah.
Do you guys know who's joining us today?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I thought it was a surprise. Am I doing intros or just saying names?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's gonna read out the whole bios while I sit here.
Tell you a little bit about everybody. There you go. So next up, we got Lil Rel Howery. He's a comedian, actor, writer, producer. Came up on the Chicago stand-up scene. There you go. Got introduced to America on 2001 in Comic View and went on to appear in a bunch of different TV shows, including The Carmichael Show, HBO's Insecure, and Bobby Brown's Story, and his own show, Rel, on Fox. On the big screen, he's been seen in Uncle Drew, an Academy Award-winning movie, Get Out, one of the most memorable roles in that movie. And, of course, the reason we're all here tonight in Bird Box. So, welcome, Lil Rel.
What up? What up?
All right, and finally, we got Trevante Rhodes, very gifted actor, first onto the scene. Academy Award-winning film Moonlight, and since then he has been blowing up. We've been seeing him in everything from Westworld to Burning Sands to 12 Strong to The Predator, and most recently, of course, Bird Box. So welcome him again, Trevante Rhodes, everybody.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. So tell us a little bit about the movie, like going into this when you first got the script and you knew you wanted to do this.
Let me go first. I just thought it was, I like thrillers. You know, those are my type of movies to watch and to do. And I just thought it was really fascinating, you know, the blindfold aspect of it and the ensemble cast, you know, having all of us in the house together. And once I found out all the other actors and actresses that was doing this, I was extremely on board. And like I had a FaceTime call with the director. It was kind of weird too, because we was like talking like we were friends. We both had like our pajamas on. We was just talking, and but we were just talking about the movie and the character. And she was so cool, and I was so excited to work with her. So, and this is actually why I was shooting Uncle Drew was when I first started talking to her about it. And it's a great script, and I wanted to work with this guy too. So, you know, it was a great decision.
And what about for you?
Yeah, like Rose said, it was an interesting script. It was an interesting, I guess, perspective to live through as a character. Just the opportunity to work with great people, just honest people, was really cool.
Okay, so this movie has garnered a lot of attention, a lot of streams. Were you guys expecting it to take over like this, just for everyone to love it like this?
I thought people would watch it. But when the memes and the challenges, it was like, damn, they make a challenge out of everything. So I didn't know the memes and the challenge. Like, and when this stuff happened, I was in Maui. I was like on a eat, pray, love vacation. You know what I mean? Like I was by myself. I went on the internet just randomly. Was like, what the heck is all this? But I'm very. It's just cool. I don't know how many times I can say in my career I'll be able to keep picking things that give people. Because I mean, Get Out, like to see like the Get Out character and the Charlie character from this movie. People like, you know, if you see this in a movie, you're gonna be saved. It's like, oh, that's cool. So I it's just very cool. I didn't expect all this. Nah.
So, what about for you? Was you expecting the movie to take off like this?
No, I don't think you can ever expect for it to resonate with people like that. Like it's always like fun and a blessing when people like really gravitate towards something and like share it. Like that's when you know you did the right job. You know.
So, Trevante, favorite scene in the movie?
I think like the whole car sequence was fun because I guess everybody was just doing their own thing, and so when it came together, and then it was so fluid, it was like a magic trick. So it was fun.
Yeah, it was crazy because they was like all the movement you see was really. It was actually really scary for real. It was like being in a ride at Universal Studios or something. Because they was really, and you could tell. It felt like she was telling them to go rougher with the car, and it was. So the car was really moving. Me looking scared. I really was kind of nervous. Because you don't know what's going on outside the car. You don't know somebody punching it. You don't know if they hit it with another car. Because it was all covered up. So it was that was a great scene. That was fun too. Because everybody had their own reaction. So until I saw the film, that's when I saw what everybody else was doing.
So you have Sandra Bullock, MGK. Tell us a little bit about like moments on set.
I mean, I kind of like sit off in the corner and read my book. So I mean,
They be doing push-ups for no reason while reading. I'm not lying either. Actually, like the book would be flat. You just read it. That's Lee Trevante. Hello. That's right. But Machine Gun Kelly, that dude is. He's wild, but he's really talented. Like he has like his guitar on set and stuff. Jackie Weaver is really funny. She's like hysterically funny. Like, oh damn, I ain't know she'd be that funny, but she's really funny. And John Malkovich was really cool, man. Like he likes basketball. Mm-hmm. That's how we connected. It's kind of weird talking Chicago high school basketball with John Malkovich. But he knew who Ronnie Fields and Kevin Garnett was. I was like, damn, you ain't lying there. He said, you ever heard of Ronnie Fields before? I'm like, yeah. What you know about Ronnie Fields? But it was fun having those connections with him. And Sandra Bullock was like really cool. Like to be like this huge superstar. She made all of us feel like she didn't make any of us feel less than her or anything. She made everybody feel really comfortable, and I thought that was really cool of her, actually.
So let's talk about the wilderness scenes in the movie. Can you tell us a little bit about them? Like, where exactly did you guys film this?
I mean, we were shooting in Pacific Palisades where the house was, and then outside, I guess the outskirts of this house. I don't really know. It just there's like this, I guess, park that was there that we shot at, and then they were also in, I guess, northern Oregon or something like that, where they shot the river sequence and all the woods and stuff over there.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some good scenes, man. Those kids were amazing, man. They very talented. Like I'm always fascinated by like child actors as able to do stuff like that. They were really good.
Okay, so I had my own questions set aside about the movie that I didn't understand. So I'm gonna have you guys answer that today. So, what exactly? Because the movie never really showed the audience what was turning people evil exactly. I need to know.
Well, if we are in the situation, how will we know? Like, I think that's what I thought was brilliant about the script was it was from the perspective of the people. So if radio and TV is shut down, how you gonna know what's going on? So whatever we've made up in our head about what's going on, I think the people, the characters knew the simple things. You need a blindfold, and you can't see whatever's outside, or it's gonna make you kill yourself. And I think if you have no information, like you think about something happened now, and everything is shut down, media-wise, the internet, everything. How would you know what's going on? That's all.
So, how is it that some people, when they were exposed, committed suicide, and others became part of the entity itself? Like, how did they make the decision on one versus the other?
I think it was just that some people were categorized as crazy or insane or whatever, and so they, I guess, already viewed the world in a certain way. So I think they just weren't influenced.
Well, I got my own philosophy to that. I think outside of crazy, it is because most of the people are mental institutions, right? So mental institutions, every day they're talking about like what's going on in their head and what happened to them, and open up and be. And most of us who don't seek help like that every day, they have to do it. And if you're keeping stuff inside and bottle up, and you're not talking to nobody about it, then it's used against you. You know what I'm saying? So the crazy people, every day they're like, yeah, I kill people, and it's what it is. And it's like they talk about it every day. So I think in a weird way they were excited to deal with an entity or a monster or whatever it is that didn't really judge them for who they are. I mean, That's what I came up with. 16
Where did MGK go? Because he got into the car. He took the car with the girl, and then they left. That was
They
it.
went to the grocery store and just took it out there.
That was it.
Yeah, I really believe it. I believe they just drank and ate until everything was gone.
So, this is another kind of MGK one. So his fans kind of started this whole thing where they feel like it's going to be a part 2 because we never really saw him. Is there a part 2? You know, don't do that. Well,
right now.
Yeah.
So
Any
technically-
representative here from Netflix? Do y'all want to do this again? I could not be dead. You ain't really say I was dead. That could not be my blood, right? I don't know. I hate sequels. If they did anything, a prequel would be dope, to be quite honest with you. Because everybody want to know where the monster came from and all this stuff.
See, yeah, okay.
A prequel would be interesting. Well, I don't know. Sequels was always, it's always weird, yeah.
How long did it take you guys to film this movie?
Because they pretty much did everything in order that you saw it. So I know Trevante, you and Sandy was probably together the longest out of all of us.
Yeah, we shot for about 3 weeks or so prior.
When you died, you was gone. It was like, all right, well, take care, everybody. You know what I mean? It was like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was like it was almost in order. I think, to be quite honest with you.
I think it was.
We all died. So like when it was the last day, you see D.D. Wong, and he got a picture with his selfie sticking out blood on his face. It was like, all right, D.D., take care, brother. You know, so you died, you went home. It was kind of like it's like a reality show. Like, well, he gone. Big brother on 10.
So, Rel, you've had an incredible few years. So, from Get Out, Uncle Drew, The Rel Show, obviously Bird Box, Tag, Bobby Brown, Insecure, The Carmichael Show. That's a good 8 right there.
Yeah, I'm just having fun working, man. Like this has been fun picking all these cool movie roles and doing roles of stuff that it's kind of dream come true stuff to me. Like Uncle Drew, I'm a big basketball fan, so that was a no-brainer to do that. And honestly, even before I get into that, Get Out opened up a lot of doors, and I appreciate Jordan Peele for giving me the opportunity to shine. And he told me it was gonna happen. He really did. He was like, "Yo, when this comes out, just know your price and do the films you want to do." I'm like, "All right, man, we'll see." But he was right, and I've been able to pick the right scripts. And I'm actually going to Sundance this weekend for another film I did. It's a whole nother different character, and
Are you saving someone in that too? Because you're technically like
well, you know something. It's not. But think about it. I haven't done nothing like super powery or nothing. You know what I mean? Like
just
I picked up my friend. Right. I picked,
yeah.
Get Out. I was an Uber driver really. Like whatever. I picked up my homeboy.
But you knew something wasn't right, and you came to check on him. Yes.
And so it's funny you say that. In this film, without telling anything, it's called Brittany Runs a Marathon. I am a hero as far as for her Jillian Bell's character, like a father figure to her. Even though like we are around the same age group, but it's just I'm like a big brother. And so yeah, you'll see. I don't want to tell too much about it, but she be those. But it's I keep picking roles where I feel like I love characters that have a lot of heart to them and care about people enough to either give them information or save their life.
Trevante, this question can go for you too. I mean, you've also had an incredible couple of years with your movies as well. So, were you? You're welcome. Were you with Bird Box? Were you expecting it to do as well? Like, just with everything you've been doing so far.
I mean, I hope so. Honestly, I hope it was an interesting script. And I know that all the pieces will come together. And, I mean, Sandy on Netflix with the interesting script and again an interesting perspective to try and live through and give my whatever I could to it. And I mean, I kind of. But I always feel like everybody wants to see something that we're doing, Just try to shoot for that.
Modest guy. First of all,
You both are.
Predator I actually like this new Predator more than I did the original one. To be quite honest with you.
Appreciate
You
you.
killed it. So like it's gonna be fun to see if we see him in more action stuff. Like we should do an action movie. Netflix, get us. Let the brothers just be alive and save everybody. It's an action movie.
Well, I feel like you both are being humble right now because you both had incredible years, and just even with your movies, they've all been monumental. So it's just now at a point, it's like, you know, when people come out, they may have a great movie, may take some time off. You guys are back to back to back to back. So even with your choices, when do you say no? You're like, maybe not.
All the time. All the time.
Yeah, I know I do, because, you know, when you're a comedian, they be some of
Yeah.
these roles. You be like, what's this movie about?
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. And then you see who take it, like, oh, okay. But no, I just don't want to put myself in a box like that. Like, this stuff and that's the other thing about being a writer. I know for me personally, being able to write things, the writing got to make sense to me. And this may be me not knowing any better, doing, you know, some of the other films. Like, if I don't like what I'm reading and doing, I don't want to do it. And hopefully I can keep doing this where, you know, I love about Uncle Drew, they gave me a chance to meet with other writers and go through the whole script. And whatever I thought we needed to change or hard, they let me do that. So hopefully I get a chance to do that with all my films, because I want to make sure it makes sense, and I don't like to read or perform stuff that doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. So let's take a few questions from the audience. Okay. This young lady right here.
Hi. My question is, what was the development part or aspect of training to be blind? And what did you gain from doing this film?
I mean, Sandy and I had the opportunity to share space with, like, a blind person, and he showed us a lot of tricks of the trade that really, it was just really interesting, off of sonar, off of just spatial awareness that really, and that I apply to today. So it was really interesting. And I mean, just to implement that with our cameramen who just walked with us, basically. This is what we did.
Gentleman in the blue.
You know, what they didn't show was my man's house. You ain't see what we was using to put around our face? And you know how when you rub your fingers down your head, like I got the wavies, so it just happens like that.
It was in a really nice house too. I mean,
Yeah, my man he was groomed, the person who owned the house.
it. Yeah,
I thought it was implied to me.
like those are fashionable guys who will have grooming kits.
You look good, you feel good. So I mean, even when it's the end of the world, you gotta make it.
That'd be
all
so funny. Black people be looking for big. The highest wave stay straight. I don't care about the monsters. Nah, it's all good. I mean, I get his own philosophies and stuff. But why is waves? I think his butt is like that.
Appreciate you for keeping it though. Appreciate you. Always.
The gentleman with the brown hat.
I have a question. I guess related to Trevante. So when you and Sandra Bullock were in the room after y'all killed the last character that tried to kill y'all were just sitting in there and the light was just kind of beaming in. Nobody covered the window. So how did that not affect y'all? Because when everybody else saw the light that I saw, it made it crazy.
When we saw the light, it's whenever you looked out, not necessarily when you looked at the light. Looking at the light, we kind of use that as a signifier that something was open. So in some scenes, whenever you would look down and you would see the light, we would go, that's why I did that in that one scene to kind of signify that. So it's more so about looking into the space rather than, you know what I mean?
So the light could come in and it was
Yeah, I mean, that was, yeah,
The sun wasn't a monster.
yeah.
Yeah.
The lady in the back in the pink.
Hello, good afternoon. So I know we are debating like what the monster is, but what do you think the purpose of the film is? Like for me, I'm like maybe it's we often ignore the lesser seen people in our society, so we need to take more recognition of them. But like, what is the bigger purpose? Like, what really is this?
I feel. Let me,
Go ahead.
So I feel honestly, I felt like it was all about connection, and to me, the monster is your greatest fear. I mean, that's what it is, your greatest fears, and so your fears keep, at least for me personally, my fears keep me from connecting to other people because I have trust issues, being a person growing in life. So for me, that's kind of what the film was. in like in regards to trying to connect to people off top. You know what I mean? Whenever we lost connection with everybody else, it kind of got hectic.
Yeah, now this is what makes a good movie too. I think I like when people have their own. You come up with your own whatever you think that is. I mean, for me, I think for me personally, it was more faith-based about just having blind faith. Like you couldn't see anything, you had to really listen. And I thought the symbolism of listening is just me and my spirituality, just listening to God. When you have no choice but you can't look. And you have to fight out all these other, I think about the stuff you go through in your career. And you have to, especially if you become successful in this business, there's so many people, you walk these carpets, they flashing lights, and everybody's in your ear. And I'm thankful that I've been able to have blind faith. And that's why I looked at, when I saw the movie, it just to me represented being able to keep those voices out, to stay focused on the goal. That's just me. That's just my whole.
Young lady in the black.
Hi, I'm curious. There's a couple times where the children almost see the monster, but never do. If the children were to see the monster, children may not have the capabilities of killing themselves, or even have any fear or inhibition to want to kill themselves. There may not be an answer to this question, but what do you think would happen when a pure soul sees the monster?
You know what makes that question interesting is that I think a lot of times we think kids don't know about anything. And then you read these articles about these young people who get bullied and they kill themselves. I don't know. I just think like when you're being attacked I'm not saying that like kids would know what to do, but that's a great question. But I think a lot of times we underestimate what goes through a child's mind. If they've been on a boat and they hit a rock, they'll figure it out. Not like that. This is when they know they can go. If somebody telling you are going to die if you don't listen to me, like, oh damn, die. So they know what death is. I don't know, man.
I think I'm kind of in the same mind frame as you. That's why I think Tom was able to kind of overcome, because he had a purer heart than most. And so that's why I think he was able, if just for a little bit, to kind of pull away to save the family. So I think the children would have been all right, but I think cinematically, to leave that to your makes it amazing.
Gentlemen.
Were your roles written for African American men, or was that something that happened because you guys are so brilliant and they cast you, or how did that work out? And was there any discussion about the interracial relationship?
Never. But when I no worries. When I was cast, we pushed 3 weeks to reconstruct the script, and then we kind of built out from there. And so, like, a lot of the stuff was we cultivated later on, so it was specific to me in a sense.
Their names was Charlie and Tom. So.
Right here.
On that note, did you see the Root article that was basically stating that their inability to see was them white people protecting themselves from seeing racism, and they kind of used that, the Charlie, the Tom.
That was such a weird article.
Yeah.
It just kind of didn't make any sense. It's just not like that. I do respect everybody just figuring out what they are, but some stuff be a reach. I read that like, okay, I tried to understand it like, all right, this is a reach. So I don't. Nah. Yeah, sorry. You ain't write it, did you?
No.
Gentlemen, the blue.
Business question. Like being that you've been doing a lot of acting and stuff, how long the process is it that how long was it for you to develop the show, as well as doing all the acting and stuff?
It wasn't long to develop the show, because I did it. I did it with my friends, so it made it a lot easier to tell a story. That was because I between Kevin, Josh, and Gerard, these dudes just thought my real life was funny, so I'll be venting them about some about divorce and stuff that happened. They're like, oh, that'll be a good show. I'm like, what? But that's how it came to be. Just talking with my friends and just hanging out, and we decided to say, okay, that maybe this is a great story to tell on the show. I mean, which is one of the great things, you know, you're able to do a show, you know, with your friends. And recently just lost one of my friends who helped create and produce and write the show. Yesterday. So, I'm gonna always be forever grateful being able to create with my friends. You know, Hollywood's a tough business, and if you're able to do something with a group of people that know who you are, and they got your back on set, no matter what a network says or a studio says, you know, when you're on set and you know your friends are coming to talk to you and stuff, it just made it easier doing it with my friends. So I'm forever grateful for that. That's what made the process easy.
Gentleman in brown.
What was it like working with Sandra Bullock?
It was great, man. Sandy's awesome. She's really nice people, and she's just a great creative. Yeah.
You know, yeah, Sandy.
This is going to be the last two questions. Over here. Lady in the pink.
First of all, great movie, guys.
Thank you.
If you could two questions. If you could change.
Okay, this will be last question.
We can do one more. We can do one more.
We can't do two more?
Change one scene. Which scene would you change? And if you were not available to play this role, who would suggest or think would play the role just like you? If you were not available to play the role.
You know, so if it was a scene, if I was to change the scene just to force Charlie still in the movie, I'd have just grabbed John Malkovich's gun and shot Fish Finger and told him to close the door. And if it was somebody else to play what I did, it would have been fun to watch Cat Williams do it.
Right here. Last question.
So I wanted to know if y'all read the novel before, you know, doing this. And if not, then do you plan on it? And if so, well, there you go.
Well, you know something, I had to, when they start having me say all that stuff, and I just wanted to, I need to understand whatever. So yeah, I ended up getting the book because of that, and I don't know if it helped. John Malkovich's wife is who helped me understand what the heck I was talking about. Once again, we became good friends, me and John Malkovich. And I told him I didn't understand what I was saying. They wanted me to do everything again. He said, oh, my wife understands all these terminologies. Let me give her a call. And he called his wife, like, baby, Rel doesn't understand what he's saying. She gave me definitions of most of those words and those philosophies and stuff. So I thought that was very cool. Bear my ass. That was his line. It was so funny. You had to be there. It was great.
Trevante Rhodes, I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
I want
you.
to give him a round of applause.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
And I want to thank Netflix for putting this on, and of course the NAACP Image Awards. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you March 30th.